I was raised by a single mother. So where I was, my mother, we always go to church. But there's one thing that I realized was we believe in herbs. They do herbs. Even if you wanted to travel, you have to go and ask. They'll give you herbs to carry along. And I realized idol worship too, that's what they normally does. So sometimes I see, are we worshiping God or we are worshiping other things? So going through school at the age of 12 years, we have a ritual that they do. They'll have to baptize you in a river. So I went through school 12 years. I couldn't read. So one day I took my Bible and I opened it. So I realized that my eyes was open and I started reading. That was Ewe Bible. So through there, I took English Bible too, and I started reading it. I said, wow, I wasn't able to read before, so I was reading not by teacher, but it's because of God. So I went to school, they gave us a book to read before they can promote you, and my master realized that I was able to read. So even the master was surprised that I was able to read because they knew me. So there I start realizing myself that the way I write to, I told myself that that's not me. Something must change in my life. So I came to my sister, and there they have to sack us to move from the house. So I was working somewhere, and a woman told me that if I wanted to go to any church, I should go to ICGC. I don't know, sometimes people carry tracts they give to us, but I don't want to take because I know that I have Christ in me. So one day I go to ICGC church. I just wanted to visit. They called a new member, those who came to visit, to get up so that they welcome them. I told myself that I just came there to just fellowship and go. I'm not here to be a member. After they finished the church, they called the visitors, and I went there. And since then, I started going there. And I told myself that I don't want to go to any church that speak the local language. I want to go to a church that speak English. Because I can't speak well. I can't even speak my own language well. Anytime I speak, I change it to another thing. So I joined the intercessor group. So there, they have to call one of you to lead. So one day, old woman came and he was leading, speaking English. I said, if this woman can speak, how much me, young lady, why can't I speak? And the book of John, he said, when the Holy Spirit comes, he will teach you all things. So I told myself, if the Holy Spirit can teach all things, God should help me open my mouth to speak. There I started speaking. So I moved to this church, and one evangelist man called me that I have to go and start evangelism. And he was praying for me that God should open my mouth. And since then, God has changed my life. And I have a zeal to go out and reach out to people. When I was a child, I wanted to become a pastor. I wanted to save souls. So there, they told us that women are not supposed to be a pastor. But within me, I asked myself that if God is not a foolish God, to make me a woman and give me something to do, and I won't do it. So I have faith. So because of that, I wanted to move from where my mother fellowship and go. And everything started from that point up to now. We go out and we go to ghetto to fellowships. At first, I used to do it on my own, even though I don't know what I am doing. But I just met people and I told them that Jesus loves you. And sometimes people give me attention. Sometimes some of them, they cry. They said that what I'm going through, you are saying the same thing. And I pray for them, and I know that I have that grace, and I continue doing it. It got to a point I have to stop because things were getting tough, and I had a friend that supports me financially. And since that friend is not there, I have to withdraw there, and up to now, I know God has been good and be faithful to me. And sometimes it got to a difficult time, and sometimes I find it difficult to tell people what I'm going through. But the moment I take a step, God used those people to bless me for my need. And I'm still going on up to now. There was one time I went out to evangelize. I met a Muslim guy. I wanted to give the guy a tract, and the guy was telling me that he's a Muslim, so there's no way you'll be able to go to church. I said, one day God will use you. But 2 years later, I was coming somewhere, and the person called me and said, Angela, do you remember me? I said, no. And he was telling me that he was the guy that I talked to. Now he become a Christian. He joined the Pentecost. I was very happy. I was very happy. And God was good. And the guy called me back to tell me that now he had become a Christian. He's fellowshipping and he's serving God in this way. I was very happy. One day we went with Evangelist George. We used to go and minister to the prostitute. So after church, we went there, and I just heard the Holy Spirit asking me that after this hotness, because we brought the people to church. After church, they went back to what they are doing. They went back to their vomit. And I was feeling bad inside because some of them, they need support of money. They need support. They will just need a little to bring them out. So one guy in the church, his name is Eugene. I told the guy that he should pick one of the guy and train the guy. And he picked one of the guy. Now the guy is now a cameraman in the church. He always comes to church morning and evening. So it got to a point I realized that the guy wasn't coming to church. So I was praying. I asked the guy that I told to take care of. So he was telling me that the guy has done something. So I prayed to God that if it's the will of God for that guy not to be lost, he should come back. God should do it. And God find a way of bringing the guy back. So the day I saw the guy, I was happy. I told him, I said, I was praying for you that I don't want you to go back. So God should bring you. And indeed, God has brought the boy back. So I thank God for what the Lord is doing.